drift away. Drift away.
Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna be exploring the new expansion pack that just came out in Hell Was 2 a few days ago, and pretty much what I'm gonna do is just go through all the information that I've got here that involves all the new cards and the new leaders that came out in this new DLC. Before I go into this, just check out this preview of what came out. Alright guys, so starting off here is Commander Jeremy. Now this leader is sort of an all-rounder. Like, he has very good cards and abilities, but the other one here, the Arbiter, in others' opinions, in their eyes, this leader is a little bit overpowered, they say. But I'm not very sure yet. I haven't actually played as any of these leaders yet, so I'm not quite sure, but by my guess, these two leaders are very good by their cards and abilities that got brought out. But anyway, let's get into their cards. Let's begin with one of the new cards that the Arbiter brings in. Now, the elite enforcers are armed with plasma rifles, plasma casters, and plasma grenades. And this elite squad is 4 elites armed with all this stuff, and they're actually very powerful compared to a lot of units around 40. And this elite squad is unbelievably strong for the amount of energy that it costs to use. And I would strongly recommend you using this card in your deck to enhance your ability to beat players. The Phantom is another unit which can attack like any other vehicle in the air, but also a moving garrison. Similar towards Sergeant Johnson's garrison, but weaker and in midair. And if there's any units inside and the Phantom, gets destroyed, so does the units inside. So any units inside, which I believe is 2 max infantry units inside, get killed automatically when the Phantom goes down. The new abilities that Arbiter brings with him begins with Stasis. Now this ability is very useful if used correctly to trap enemies. These enemies can't perform any actions whatsoever, which means they can't move or attack. But a downside or advantage is, if you use it on your own men, they can't move or attack, but they're invincible. The downside is, if you try to trap your enemies and you try to kill them fast, they're also invincible also. So it is pretty useful to use, but you need to use it the right way. Conduit of Rage boosts targets damage, healing, and speed. So this is very useful if you do want to rush someone and they aren't prepared or whatever, or you're just defending. So I would recommend this if you do have a spot in your deck to boost your units. The Plasma Bolt is a very efficient card as it blasts on a small area with light amount of damage to weaken enemies with a low energy cost, as you see. Now this is very efficient if you do want to capture a point quickly, so you just use the Plasma Bolt to weaken their huge army. So for me personally, I wouldn't use this because I don't exactly have a spare spot, but for you guys, if you do want to weaken an army before you attack, I do recommend it. Alright guys, so I don't really have much to say about this, but Mass Cloaking is a very efficient card to use if you do have a huge army and you want to take back a point or whatever, or take down a huge army that's trying to push you, just use this and destroy them pretty much. Now I believe this mass cloaking does last a long time, and the great thing is that it has siphon as well, other than cloak, and it does increase their speed. So this card is very useful, but it's very costly at the same time. So if you want to use this, it's up to you. The final card for the deck is Arbiter himself, and I'll just let you know that this guy is very strong and just he's a great card. He has rush, shield, and his ability is just crazy good. And yeah, I do suggest using Arbiter as a leader. He does have very good cards and abilities with him, and if you are a sort of like build up guy to defend a point and just stay there, I do suggest using this deck because it does have a lot of good cards with it. So other than that, let's move on. Commander Jeremy has proven to be an inspirational and highly capable leader. He brings out the new Mastodon, which I don't know how to say properly, but let's just go with it, which is another garrison, but this time with wheels. Now this vehicle can still do quite a lot of damage by itself, but with more infantry inside it, which I believe is 2 max, it can still hold quite well on the battlefield. Omega Team is possibly the best card brought out in this whole entire expansion in my point of view. It calls in 1 of 3 Spartans in its team with a rush ability, shield, and these Spartans of the Omega Team have the ability to hijack vehicles also. So this card has a lot of things going on with it. It looks really good, and you can actually get all 3 Spartans, the whole entire Omega Team, on field. And I'd say this, all 3 of them on field would be really, like, I'd say overpowered. It might not be that when I actually use it, but just going from it, it looks like a really strong card. The new abilities begin with Enduring Salvo. Now this thing bombards an area with wreckage of a destroyed banished warship. This does sound cool, but considering that it costs 80 energy to use it, I don't think it does that much damage in that area, considering that it does cost that much. But you never know, I haven't actually used this card yet, so if anyone did use this and they're watching, please comment down below and tell me how much it actually does, and if it even does anything. The victory turret's pretty cool towards how it boosts nearby troops' damage, and as well as doing heaps of damage itself on the battlefield. Now I do recommend this if you do have a huge army and you're just defending like and you just put this down to boost your nearby troops' damage. So go ahead and use this and see what happens. The Spartan Morale is another great ability to boost nearby troops' damage, and I do recommend using this because it does cost 50, so it is a very low budget energy card to use. So yeah, I do suggest using it in your deck. Okay guys, the Spartan himself, Commander Jeremy, is another card that is a great help to contribute to your army because of his rally and shield. And I do believe that he has a Commander Mantis with him that also does a lot of damage itself. And yeah, this card in general is just a great contribute to your army, and I would advise to have it in there because he looks like a really cool card. And yeah, that's the last card in here, and I hope you all enjoyed that info about the new expansion on Hell Wars 2, and hopefully I got everything. Also tomorrow I'm doing a pack opening, so check that out if you want to. It's up to you guys. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. See you guys.